Okay, students, in this one I'm going to go ahead and explain to you the synthesis project. You'll click on this, and each week it'll tell you what you should do. You'll click here to get the instructions. So, here's an introduction that overviews the synthesis project. Okay, throughout the semester you'll be producing 3 synthesis project PowerPoint presentations that demonstrate your ability to use core truths connected with the articles of faith to address a question, issue, or problem in today's world. Each synthesis project allows you to demonstrate these 3 things, okay, to effectively synthesize, use restoration scripture, basically Doctrine and Covenants, and then genuinely apply in personal ways these truths. Okay, you'll have each one is due. Here's when they're due: lesson 6, lesson 10, and then lesson 14. Each one is worth 125 points. So here's your first project, and you'll just kind of work a little bit on it each week, and then you'll turn it in. Okay, I would highly recommend you do not wait till the very last to do this. It'll create for a miserable week, and it won't be done right, quite frankly. So here you go. This is your first project that's due in lesson 6. Okay, this activity will allow you to synthesize some of the truths regarding the plan of salvation for articles of faith 1 through 4. So you're focusing on just those first articles of faith. It's framed around the plan of salvation, and this is the question you're trying to answer. How are the core truths found in articles 1 through 4 relative to the plan of salvation? Okay, so you'll create a PowerPoint or Prezi presentation, it doesn't matter. Or even if you end up doing it on, I don't know, I guess you could do it on a Word document if you're more comfortable in that. But anyway, you got to have 10 to 15 slides or 10 to 15 pages, whatever you end up doing there. So you'll demonstrate an understanding of the truths of the restoration connected with the articles of faith by doing effective synthesis of those. The ability to use the scriptures, particularly the Doctrine and Covenants, to teach those truths, and then how the truths are connected in the articles of faith are fundamental to knowing and following. I'll let you read through that. It's important to realize this is a synthesis. It's not a summary. Okay, so if you need to read more about that, you can do that. But here's what's expected and what you'll turn in at the end of on this first project. You'll have a title slide. Okay, it's going to include your name, a thesis statement that identifies a problem, question or issue being addressed. So obviously here is one of the questions that you're going to have. How are the core truths found in articles of faith 1 through 4 relative to the plan of salvation? As you look, you might focus in on, you'll notice up here, how the core truths are connected to a question, issue, or problem in today's world. If you hone it in on a certain aspect of the plan of salvation, that's fine. I'm okay with that. There's a lot of different things that fall underneath that. Okay, so that's fine. But you're going to have a title. You're going to have, your name on the first slide. Then throughout that, a balance of text, images, diagrams. Just be careful on copyright issues. At least one original diagram, chart, or illustration that demonstrates synthesis. Now, don't worry about this like that you have to be some creative genius on this, okay? It's just, in other words, something that you have produced yourself. And it, again, doesn't need to be big, okay, and huge. It can be simple. I'm not going to give you much more than that because I don't want to curtail your creativity. But again, all I'll say is don't overthink it, okay? And then you'll use at least 10 restoration scripture passages, primarily from the Doctrine and Covenants. The final slide, when it says each presentation talking about, you'll do 3. So the final slide must have an effective conclusion with a specific call to action items. You'll have a main message to the world that contains the following, those 3 things right there, and then a summary slide, okay? Like a so what, and those are due. And that is your synthesis project, okay? If you have any questions on that, let me know.